Today we're talking about each of our individual perfect bourbon collections. This is going to be very telling, maybe a little bit self-telling. Hopefully I don't get in too much trouble in this one. Let's go.
Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh. We are here today on our topical Tuesday videos talking about what each of our individual perfect bourbon collections would look like. We get this question a lot, actually, and we're going to do this week the bourbon collection. Next Tuesday, we will talk about our perfect rye collections. And then in 2 weeks, we'll talk about our 10 best bottles that we own. So I think the way we're going to do this is going to be ladies first.
Okay.
And we're going to check out Erin's perfect bourbon collection. And then after that, we'll get into mine. Let's get into hers first, though. All right, so we have 5 bottles here in front of us.
We do.
Talk us through it.
Okay.
What is your perfect bourbon collection?
If you see me looking off to the side, I'm checking my notes.
She's got notes.
Yes. So I have categories, and I will tell you which of these bottles fit into my categories. But in any given month, year, these can change, but the categories will probably still stay the same. So my perfect bourbon collection will check notes. Low proof, high flavor. That's the category that I am constantly impressed with. When there's a bourbon that's lower proof, but is full of flavor, I'm always impressed. So in that category, we have Isaac Bowman Port Cask. I can't see what it is. Port Cask finish, so I have to look at my notes. And the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, the white label one.
Yeah.
These are both.
You gave this 2 thumbs up.
I did.
Blind. Double blind.
Double blind.
And that's saying a lot. And you always like this.
Yes. And for this Evan Williams specifically, I find that it's a good enough price point, but it tastes good enough where I will drink it neat. But it's at a good enough price point where I don't feel bad if he puts it in a mixer or something for me.
Yeah. And the only reason this bottle is full is because I went out earlier today and bought it to replace the one that we already drank through. Yeah. Because these go into cocktails a ton around here.
So right now, these 2 bottles are in that low proof, high flavor category, but I reserve the right to switch them out but that category is pretty important to me.
Right.
Okay. So the next category is mid to high proof and balanced flavors. So for me, I really do enjoy a good high proof pour, but it needs to be balanced. I don't like sharp edges. I don't like anything super obvious sticking out to me. So in that category, we have Rare Breed Non-Chill Filtered. If you are a regular viewer of the channel, are you surprised? If you were a new viewer of the channel, you'll probably hear me talk about this a lot. So get ready.
I will say, by the way, with non-chill filtered Rare Breed, this is a travel exclusive. You can only get it in duty-free shops.
Yeah.
We just so happen, through the reach of the channel and some help from wonderful people, have been able to get several bottles of this, and it's a liter. But the regular Rare Breed does qualify here as well.
Yes, I was going to say that.
$50 to $60 in every market.
And I do want to have a caveat with these. I'm not thinking about prices with these. I'm literally thinking about what I like and what we have that fits what I like. So
your perfect bourbon collection.
My perfect bourbon collection. So this is not price dependent. This is not availability dependent. This is literally, in a perfect world, if everything was the same, what would I put on my collection? So just so you know. And then the other one in the mid to high proof with a good balance is this Elijah Craig. Any Elijah Craig, I think
the barrel proof, yeah.
Barrel proof. This one's C923, but we've had several of the other ones, the A whatever.
A's, B's. They're all good. They're Elijah all varying shades of good.
Barrel proof. They're different shades of good, and right now they've been pretty good.
Yeah, and you consistently rate both of these, especially the non-chill filtered, but you consistently rate both of these very high in blind tastings as well. And you just enjoy them.
Yeah, Rare Breed is always, it's been a long time love. It doesn't always do as well in blinds as I would hope, but I always like it. And it's my constant.
Yep. And then you've got a bottle hanging over here.
The third category is the special occasion bottle. I'm not one to get really hung up on the special occasion bottle, but this one is real good.
Right now, if we had a special occasion bottle.
If we had a special occasion that we were going to celebrate.
In this house, for you.
For me. And Josh is like, hey, Erin, you had this big accomplishment. Let's celebrate with a pour.
Bourbon.
Of bourbon. Of specifically bourbon, not...
Then you would go for this.
I would go with a 13th Colony Double Oaked.
This is a Double Oaked batch 1.
This is batch 1.
Which we prefer to batch 2.
Yeah. I would take either batch, but batch 1, again, in a perfect world, batch 1 is my preference.
135.3 proof. It's a monster pour. We both love it. It's got the sweetness that I love. It's got the earthiness that you love. And yeah, I mean, to you, honestly speaking, knowing you, I think this checks out. 5 bottles. You are a minimalist at heart.
I am.
You are a quality over quantity type of girl.
I am.
And this reflects your preferences perfectly, I feel like.
I agree.
Yeah, perfect. Now let's get into mine. Obviously, I do not share in Erin's minimalist tendencies.
Obviously not.
And I have notes too because we got a lot to cover real quick.
Oh my
but
gosh.
We're going to do it quickly. I have categories as
Get
well.
a pour. Sit down.
No.
Take a load off.
We're going to roll through this quick. I have categories as well. And honestly speaking, separate and apart from the channel, these are the types of things that I like.
Okay.
So I love to have some good budget pours that I can drink neat or mix in cocktails. And for me, those 2 pours respectively are Early Times Bottle and Bond
Over here.
and Wild Turkey 101. So to me, those are fantastic bottles, lower price. I don't love mixing with Early Times Bottle and Bond because it's just sweet and it's good and you can just drink it on its own.
Can I move these once we talk about them?
No, leave it up here. It makes an
Okay.
impression.
Okay.
Wild Turkey 101 is just a fantastic pour and it's great in cocktails too. After that, I love to have a couple of good, low proof, easy sippers that are generally enjoyable, easy go-tos, especially in hotter weather. And for me, personally speaking, it would be Eagle Rare, particularly store picks if I can get them. But if I can't get that, I'll just get regular Eagle Rare. And if I can't get regular Eagle Rare, I'll get Buffalo Trace.
Again, this is in a perfect world. Prices, availability, all being equal.
Right. And if I can't get Eagle Rare store picks or regular, then I'll get Buffalo Trace store picks. And if I can't get that, I'll get the regular Buffalo Trace. So that's why that's over there.
Okay.
Also, I love having a bottle of Henry McKenna Bottle and Bond around. 10-year Kentucky bourbon, very classic profile. It is a single barrel, so it does vary. Some of them can be better than others, but truthfully speaking, it's a pour that means something to us. We have some sentimentality to it.
It's a little nostalgic pour.
Yeah, we shared some pours out of a bottle early in our dating relationship and just had a ton of good conversation, and that bottle will always hold a special place in my heart as well.
Yeah.
It is up to $70 and it is 10
Dang, Gina.
It is 10-year 100 proof, but I think the quality substantiates the price in today's modern market, so I'm not mad at it, and I would have to have a bottle of that as part of my thing.
Yeah.
Now, after that, I'm a high proof guy. I love flavor. I love saturation of flavor, density.
So what's your category?
It's the higher proof go-to bourbons.
Okay.
So rare breed, hopefully the non-chill filtered. If we have it, if we don't, just a regular rare breed. Also, Knob Creek 120 proof single barrels are an absolute must have around bottle. And truthfully speaking, what I reach for more than anything else ever
I can confirm.
are Nashville Barrel Company single barrels.
Facts,
Now,
yep.
we are in Nashville, Tennessee. We do live a few miles away from Nashville Barrel Company.
Yeah.
We have done quite a few picks at the Nashville Barrel Company location because we love their product so much, but they do some of the best whiskey out there as far as sourcing goes. And take that sourcing out of the equation, just flat out, some of the best whiskey, some of my favorite whiskey that exists. So
Yep.
I'm reaching for these more than anything else ever.
Yeah.
If you can't get to Nashville, or if you can get to Nashville, definitely go by there. If you can't get to Nashville, you can go to their website and find ways to order directly through them so they can be delivered to you. After the rare breed, Knob Creek, Nashville Barrel Company go-tos, I always like to have something that's a little bit off the beaten path, a little bit different for those days where I want something that's not quite down.
So this is your something a bit different category.
Yeah, something a bit different. And for me, that's stuff like New Riff single barrels, barrel craft spirits, bourbon blends. This is 34, which we've already ran through one of these and have another awesome product, and Pursuit United. These 3 products represent something that is in the lane of Kentucky bourbon or blended bourbon, because they use bourbons from different, at least Pursuit and Barrel use products from different places, but it's different enough to be different and good. And I just think they make a really quality product.
Yep.
After I've got my something a little bit different, now I want a Saturday night special. I want the stuff that I reach for a little less often.
Okay.
A little bit more special occasion, but
your,
not.
your weekend sipper.
Yeah. And so for me, again, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, this is my go-to, but I love meaningful single barrels too. So we've got our Russell's Reserve single barrel that we picked in collaboration with Marcus the Bourbon Judge and SLB Drinks, and I believe that we are doing another Russell's pick later this year. So if you're interested in our single barrel picks, you can get those over on Stuff and Whiskey's Patreon, and that is in the video description below.
Yep.
And those go down through the tiers in tiered order, and then sign up for the free tier even if you don't want to pay money to be part of it, because anything that doesn't sell out in the paid tiers will go to the free tier. And you can find that if you're on a desktop or laptop with the 3 little dots on the right side, or if you're on the mobile app, it should be pretty apparent, but just click around, you'll find it. But meaningful single barrel picks, which truth be told, these Nashville barrel companies, we've got a ton of meaningful picks.
Fall in that category as well.
Because we do several barrel picks with them every year. And then after that, there's the special occasion bottles. And I like to have several different special occasion bottles on hand.
Do you like a good special occasion?
I do. And for me, these aren't things I typically drink by myself. They're things I drink with other people.
Yeah.
They're things I like to share. And to me, that creates the most special experiences. And that special experience that you can have with some of these bottles is worth more than the price of admission, even at marked up rates. And it's the type of thing where you can create memories with friends and loved ones over and over and over again while the bottle lasts. So for me, some of my favorite special occasion bottles are Baby Stag. I used to call it the Stag, formerly known as Junior, but that's too much. Baby Stag, but this is batch 16 of Stag Junior, my favorite batch that I've ever tried, all the way back through batch 12, including batch 12. I like batch 16.
There you go.
We've got 13th Colony Double Oaked, batch 1, which I absolutely adore more than batch 2. So this is one that only comes out really to share with others.
Friends, yeah.
Jack Daniel's 12 year, and it couldn't fit on the table and be seen, but Wild Turkey 101 12 year is also in the mix here as well. And then we've got George T. Stagg.
Papa Stag.
Papa Stag, Daddy Stag, as I like to call it. We got Baby Stag and Daddy Stag, and then King of Kentucky. These are absolutely phenomenal bourbons.
Meant for sharing. Because you can't keep them to yourself. They're so good, you have to share.
Exactly. And so those are the things that come out, depending on who I'm drinking with, who I'm sipping with, what kind of experience they like, and what I think is going to be something they've never tried before or something. That's when these come out. But to me, this is my perfect bourbon collection. It's probably going to be about 20 or 25 bottles. And realistically speaking, the single barrels are going to run that up probably into the 30s, 40s, 50s.
I wouldn't say you're a sucker for a single barrel.
Yeah. And that's why we do single barrel picks over on our Patreon. But anyways, hopefully this video was fun for you. Quite a difference in our opinions. Next week with the Rise is going to be quite telling because it's going to look a lot different than the way this video went. But we'll keep you in suspense for now. Tune back in next Tuesday. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and do all those things if this video spoke to you. And we'll be speaking to you very soon because we're keeping these videos coming.
Absolutely.
I think that's it. Oh, check out shirts. If you like this Batman shirt, which you can't even see through all these bottles, and that's over at stuffandwhiskey.com along with a whole bunch of other shirts. We got like a dozen unique designs and
check it out.
all kinds of stuff. Check it out.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. That's it for today. Be good to each other, y'all. And until next time,
Stay
cheers.
perfect, you beautiful human.